I thought this story was important and vital because people that I knew and grew up with, people that I run into, not just in Toronto, but New York, Los Angeles, Paris, Melbourne, in Australia. I mean, friends and family that I have around the world, around my age, were experiencing the same thing that I was, where they felt that politics weren't really speaking to them, and the way that politics and the world was reported wasn't effective, and they weren't getting anything from it. And I wanted to tell that story in a way that was engaging and fun about people that I knew without looking through rose-colored glasses about their stories. I wanted to tell it warts and all. And I thought that the Rob Ford aspect of the story, for me, growing up in Toronto, was interesting because Rob was elected in 2010. Nobody believed that somebody with such far-right leaning politics, who wanted to run government like a business, who had a very catchy slogan, would ever win the office of mayor of the most liberal city in the country. And he did, and on election night, people were shocked. And I think that was the bellwether for not just the United States, but France and the UK, the EU in general, and the great political shift to the right that we're seeing right now. So I thought that was an important story to tell for young people to see themselves represented on film, and a story about that. Yeah, I mean, I think, taking Nina's story, for example, in the movie, Nina's character is based on a friend of mine that I grew up with who graduated as a lawyer, could not find work for a long time, and she had to take a job with somebody who she wasn't totally comfortable working for, and who made her feel incredibly uncomfortable in the workplace, but she had student debts to pay off. So she had to keep the job, and people would say to her, well, why don't you leave? Because it was so easy to just leave the job, and it wasn't. And I wanted to tell her story honestly, not that it's my story to tell, but witnessing it from afar and just showing people how that could all happen. And people have to live their lives and try the best they can, and you can't judge them for it. I thought was important. I was super fortunate that basically my first choice for everybody said yes. We had great meetings, great conversations about this film, and everyone was just as passionate about telling this story that I was. And what we realized on set, Mina and Nina and myself, was, we're three Canadians, but none of us were actually born in Canada. We all came from other places, and we're telling this story, and I think it's just so representative of the interconnected and multicultural world that we're living in, and I think it's important to tell stories like that today.